The chart you see can help you determine what method you should use for solving. When we have both equations are y equals or x equals, like what we see on this example, then we will use substitution. Specifically, you'll go to the part in your foldable that has the statement both equations are y equals or x equals, and you'll follow those steps. When I have one equation is y equals or x equals, then you will still do substitution, but you will go and follow the method that is under that part of your foldable. For elimination, we first want to check and see if we have the same coefficient with different signs. We see that here with our x's. If we don't have same coefficient, different signs, then what we're looking for is same coefficient, same sign. I see this here with the y's. If neither of those is true, then I'm going to be dealing with a situation where I have different coefficients. The easier way to do this is to look for the coefficient that has a 1 in it, like when I look at these y's. And if I do not have a coefficient with a 1 in it, then that's when I look at, since none of them have the 1, this is the one where you will have to do your dividing. And when we do that dividing, we divide big by small. So on this problem, we would do 14 divided by 7, and that's 2. And we could stop right there, and since we know that that's 2, we can multiply the equation with the smaller number, so that would be the top equation. We can multiply that top equation by 2, and that's how we would solve. Today, we're going to go through this video, and we're going to work on making sure that we know which method we would use given which situation. And so we're going to use this flow chart, we're going to break it down, and then we're going to practice solving. On Friday, we will have our exit ticket over all methods, and the following Friday, we will have our quiz. The exit ticket on Friday will be at the beginning of class, and then we will be doing our notes on word problems for systems of equations, so that we are ready for that quiz next Friday. Take a look at this problem. Which method do you think we will use to solve? We should have chosen one equation is y equals or x equals. So you want to open that page in your foldable. Given that one equation is y equals or x equals, I'm going to take what y equals and I'm going to plug that into the other equation for y. When I do that, I will have 5x minus 2 equals negative 19, and inside those parentheses, I will fill in the 8x plus 15. And then I can solve it. We have a distribution problem, so we will have 5x minus 16x minus 30 equals negative 19. Combine like terms. And then solve the two-step equation. So we get x, we get negative 1. Then we will plug into whichever equation we think looks easier. So y equals 8 times x plus 15. We know x is negative 1, so y equals negative 8 plus 15. Y equals 7. So my answer, negative 1, comma 7. Think about which method we will use for solving this problem. We should have chosen elimination, where we have different coefficients, specifically where we have one equation is plus or minus 1. So using that information, that means that I'm going to find where I have 1, and I am going to multiply the bottom equation to make it have the same coefficient but opposite signs with the top equation. So the top equation stays exactly the same. And on the bottom, I will get negative 10x plus 5y equals negative 70. You should be able to eliminate, which means those equal 0. If you can't, go back and look. Do you need to multiply by negative 1? Did you multiply the wrong number? See if you can figure out where you made your mistake. Divide by negative 18. So I get x equals 5. Take that number and plug it back into whichever equation looks easiest, which for elimination, that won't necessarily be something that has a nice answer. So I'm going to do the bottom equation, and I'm going to plug in that 5. Negative 10 plus y equals negative 14. Add 10, and y equals negative 4. And so we get our answer of 5, negative 4. Think about which method you should use to solve this problem. You should have chosen same coefficient, same sign. So this is another elimination problem. For this problem, we will multiply either equation by negative 1. It doesn't matter if it is the top or the bottom. So we will get 7x minus y equals negative 3, and 2x plus y equals 12. Make sure that you can eliminate, and then go ahead and solve your equation. I get x equals 1, so I'm going to choose the equation that I think looks easier, and that's the equation that I will plug that back into. So 2 plus y equals 12, subtract 2, y equals 10. So my solution is 1, 10. Think about which method you should use for solving this problem. Hopefully we picked no coefficients or plus minus 1 for different coefficients. This is one of the ones where we have to do big divided by small. So I can do 14 divided by 7 and I get 2. Right away, since that's a nice number, you could keep going and check, but I don't mind multiplying things by 2. So I'm going to multiply the equation with the smaller number by 2 so that I can make it look like that 14. So every number, remember when we do that elimination, you have to multiply every single number. Don't leave one off. So I will get 14x plus 12y equals negative 8, and then add them up. That eliminates, that eliminates. This is one of our special cases. 0 equals 0 is a true statement, but remember we can't leave our answers true, so our answer is infinite solutions. Think about which method you will use for solving this problem. Hopefully you chose both equations, or y equals or x equals, so that means that we will be doing substitution. So I'm going to take this part of this equation and plug it in for y. That means that I will have 8x plus 23 equals 6x plus 19. And then I solve it like normal, so I'm going to move my smallest variable. And I get 2x plus 23 equals 19. Subtract 23 so we can get the variable by itself. 2x equals negative 4. So x equals negative 2. I plug it into whichever equation I think looks easier. And then I can put this right into my calculator. I do not need to do this by hand. I can let the calculator do all the work for me, and I should get that y is equal to 7. So my answer, negative 2, 7. Think about which type of equation or which method we will use for solving this equation. Hopefully you picked same coefficient, different signs. So since it's same coefficient, different signs, that's the nice kind of elimination. I can cross that off because it equals 0 and add everything else up. I get 8y equals 8, divide by 8, and I get y equals 1. Then plug it back into whichever equation you think looks easier. 3x, I'm going to pick the bottom equation, plus 3y equals -9. We plug in that one. 3x plus 3 equals -9. Subtract 3 on both sides. So 3x equals -12. When I divide by 3, x equals -4. So my solution is -4, 1. Last problem. Think about which method you should use to solve this one. We should have picked same coefficient, same sign. For same coefficient, same sign, it doesn't matter which, but you're going to multiply one of those equations by -1. Make sure you multiply every single number. I chose the bottom equation, and I'm going to keep the top equation the same. So I get positive x plus 9y equals -4. Add these up. We get to eliminate my x's, they equal 0. We get to eliminate y's, they equal 0. So 0 equals -6. That is a false statement. So my answer is no solution.